Convicted killer Billy Ray Irick is 2 steps closer to becoming the first inmate executed in Tennessee in 9 years. Irick has been sitting on death row for decades, convicted in the 1985 rape and murder of 7-year-old Paula Dyer. That execution is set to take place Thursday. And as News Channel 5's Jason Lamb just learned tonight, both the state Supreme Court and Governor Haslam say they are not going to step in to stop it.
It's from this building where convicted murderer Billy Ray Irick will learn his fate ahead of his scheduled Thursday execution.
That fate may have just been sealed this evening, with a majority of the state Supreme Court saying they won't issue a stay in the execution of Billy Ray Irick. Irick, convicted of raping and murdering a 7-year-old girl in Knox County in 1985, is part of a lawsuit saying the 3-drug injection protocol Tennessee will use to execute him is cruel and unusual punishment. Irick wanted the Supreme Court to stay the execution until after that lawsuit was worked out, but the court said today that lawsuit likely wouldn't succeed. But not all justices agreed. In a dissent, Justice Sharon Lee said the harm to Mr. Irick of an unconstitutional execution is irreparable, yet the harm to the state from briefly delaying the execution until after appellate review is minimal, if any. But Nashville attorney David Rabin, who helped author the state's death penalty law in the 70s, says there are other options for Irick.
He can go to the U.S. Supreme Court and ask for a stay. And finally, if all else fails, he could go to federal district court and ask for a stay.
Tonight, Governor Haslam said he will not grant Irick clemency. But Rabin says, especially with Irick's lawsuit still in the works, don't be surprised if a stay comes down before the scheduled execution, with just days or perhaps even just hours to go.
I think there's a high probability that one of those entities will grant a stay at least for a few weeks to allow that other litigation to run its course.
Jason Lamb, News Channel 5.
Within the next day, TDOC says Irick will be placed in what's called death watch. He'll be placed in a cell close to the execution chamber where he will get limited access to visitors and a chance to request a final meal. TDOC says he has not been placed on death watch just yet tonight.